Oh wow, yep, that's 5 losses in a row. Bruins lose 4-0. A shutout loss against the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome back down into the den, everybody. Yeah, this I was cavorting around in the short shift Discord, and I asked them who should I blame for tonight, and good chunk of the consensus was everybody other than Swayman. And you know what? That's a decent reason. That's pretty understandable. Well, because Swayman, yes, he did allow 3 goals tonight, but that's 3 goals on 38 shots that he faced. I think that we're allowed to cut him a little bit of slack because he saved above 900. He saved decently above 900. His defense, however, oh my God. But before we get into the frustrations with the defense, first of all, like, comment, and subscribe, please. Helps out a lot. Follow the Twitter. It's at ITD Bruins, and we're just gonna dive right into this one because this one is pretty cut and dry. It's pretty cut and dry. Bruins were the worst team. Adam Henrique just decided that he was going to go sicko mode on us and beat us pretty handily just by himself. McAvoy again could not do anything. He played way too far up on the McDavid goal, and then there was an empty netter for the Kulak goal. One thing that I will note, Judd Surratt is kind of getting on my nerves with his armchair officiating, like particularly with the particularly with the Frederick fight. Now, that was funny. I am not going to deny that was freaking hilarious. Frederick just basically dragging Corey Perry from his own red line all the way out to center ice to beat the piss out of him, and then having to go down the tunnel because he kicked Corey Perry's ass so hard his knuckles were bloodied. Judd was curious as to why the Bruins got the 2 minutes. Have you ever heard of the instigator penalty? Like, Frederick was basically dragging this dude down to the principal's office and giving him a hearty dose of good old fashioned corporal punishment. And yeah, that's that sort of engagement prior to dropping the gloves. You're getting 2 more on the slammer, and that's exactly what happened. And obviously, and understandably, the Bruins ended up giving up the McDavid goal on that one. Now, there was also the case of Brett Kulak maybe potentially pushing Nikita Zadorov into Stuart Skinner. Now, Skinner was able to play the rest of the game. Granted, Calvin Pickard came in for the last 5 minutes of the first period. It's fine. It's fine. It's just it wasn't really anything serious. But there were some people being like, why is that a penalty? No matter what, it doesn't matter how far away that was Kulak's shove, or really how much he shoved Zadorov. Zadorov had a decent amount of time to at least change his trajectory, and and we all know that goaltender interference is always a borderline call. It's never really cut and dry. it's never really cut and dry unless it is so unbelievably blatant that that it can't be anything other than in goaltender interference. And this was a little bit more of a. This was one that was definitely more of a gray area, but yeah, don't. This was something that, like, yeah, the Bruins probably shouldn't. The Bruins probably shouldn't have been frustrated with that one. Add in the offense not clicking at all, because we decided to jettison any sort of semblance of speed in order to just load up on grit and sandpaper during the off season, and you have a recipe as to why we got our asses kicked for nothing. Again, don't blame Swayman for this one. Swayman did everything that he could, and realistically, this team should not be getting outshot by 15 on home ice. Yes, like you're running out of excuses, and I think at this point you have run out of excuses. Yes, I think we are seeing the extent of what this team is. Yes, a team that is severely flawed, that can probably beat teams that are worse than them, although it depends on which team's worse than them. It depends on which team that's worse than them, and but they still might make the playoffs, but they might not. Tampa's gaining speed. Ottawa's gaining speed. Montreal's gaining speed. I know I've had my frustrations made about Lane Hudson, and he's raking. He's raking. He's got the most points of anybody eligible for the Calder. He might win it. You gonna do anything about it, Bruins? You gonna step it up into gear? You gonna call up any of the young guys? Or are you just gonna call up Jeff Viel again? You're gonna call up Jeff Viel? You're gonna call up Mark McLaughlin for the 15th time? Or are you gonna change the trajectory? Are you gonna call up Merkulov? Are you gonna call up Lysell? Are you gonna bring Patra back up here? Goodness gracious! Bring Patra back up here, please. Yes. It is the one thing that I wish this team would do beyond that isn't also give us updates on how Hampus Lindholm is doing. Lindholm was at Hampus was at morning skate this year today, so who knows? Maybe he's doing a lot better. Clearly, because the first time anybody's seen anything from him since he got injured on November 12th. So first Hampus Lindholm signing in 2 months. We're cooking. We might be cooking. But Bruins, kicking into gear. Because you're gonna get your ass kicked if this is how you're gonna roll into the playoffs potentially. What are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some sleep. That'll be it for tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.